Hi, Gemini, and welcome to your eclipse season tarot forecast. This is for the time frame of July 13th through August 11th, 2018. We will have the new moon in Cancer on July 13th, which will also be a partial solar eclipse. On July 27th, we will have the full moon in Aquarius, which is actually a total lunar eclipse. And this is a special eclipse because it's the longest eclipse that we've had in the last century. It will be an hour and 23 minutes. So it's significant and special. And then we end eclipse season with the new moon in Leo on August 11th. Cancer is 4th house, home and family. Aquarius is 11th house, friends, wishes, and luck. And Leo is 5th house, romance, passion, creative talents and abilities, artistic talents and abilities. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. I do want to say that eclipses, eclipse things out of your life so that new things can come in, okay? And new moons are typically about planting new seeds of manifestation, right? For things that you want to come into your life, you want to happen. And full moons are the manifestation of those energies. So think back to January and February of earlier this year and, everything that was going on in your life back then. What changes did you want to make? What changes were happening? What people fell out of your life? What was going on then? Because that was the start of eclipse season. And now here we are wrapping it up. So whatever was going on then is going to be completed in the now. So if you have a Cancer moon, an Aquarius moon, or a Leo moon, this will be a very powerful and strong eclipse season for you. I can say for me personally, when the eclipses were happening in my moon sign, big changes happened for me that year. Also, the person that I had been dating for many years, the eclipses were taking place in his moon sign as well, and a lot of changes there. And then in 2016, the eclipses were taking place in Pisces, my sun sign, and again, big changes. So when the eclipses are in your moon or your sun sign, it's really powerful and significant, okay? But that does not mean the rest of us are not going to experience it just because we don't have a moon or sun, in that particular sign that the eclipse is taking place. Like, we're all going to be affected, okay? So I'm going to pull a card to see what area of your life is going to be most impacted by this Cancer new moon partial eclipse that's taking place on the 13th of July. Oh wow, look at that. So you guys have 5th house energy, which interesting is the new moon in Leo would be 5th house, but here you have it being represented by the new moon in Cancer in your but in the 4th house. So maybe if Cancer represents your 5th house in your natal chart, this would be really significant, okay? So this again is, romance, dating, passion, having fun, being creative, artistic talents, things like that. So we're going to put the sun here as placement for this energy because that's what represents Leo. And let's pull a card to see which area of your life is going to be most impacted by this Aquarius full moon total lunar eclipse, the main event of the year. And also we have all these retrogrades happening, right? We have Mercury deciding to go retrograde. So retrogrades usually are about a review, and there's a lot of reconnection and revisiting of old situations and old relationships during retrograde. we have like almost everything in retrograde except for Venus. She's going strong, which we like. And then Mercury joins the retrogrades during eclipse season. So there could be a lot of reconnection of relationships, lovers, family, friends, because Chiron is retrograde, and Chiron is the great healer and wants to reconnect everything that has longevity, has you know, the chance for a second chance, for healing, for mending. Whoa. And as I say that, we have the 6th and 12th house fly out. So you could expect Chiron to be doing some work for Gemini in this 6th and 12th house, because they had to fly out, as I was talking about Chiron. So 6th and 12th house would be 12th house is Pisces, 6th house is Virgo. So some of you, that could be a Virgo or a Pisces, where we're going to have some reconnection and mending and healing. So let's see what this Aquarius full moon, where it's impacting you the most. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So we have the 4th house, your home and the roots of your being. So this is the house that is ruled by Cancer, okay, which this is where we're having this, you know, partial solar eclipse. And now here we have it showing up in Aquarius spot. So your Cancer new moon eclipse is affecting your 5th house energy. The Aquarius full moon lunar eclipse is affecting your 4th house energy. So we will put the moon here to mark that, because the moon is the ruler of Cancer and Gemini. Do you see this? The sun and the moon, the solar and the lunar eclipse in the perfect spots, okay? Wow. Very significant for you guys. Let's see what shows up here for the Leo new moon partial solar eclipse that's happening in August. What area of Gemini's life is being most affected? All right, so we have the 10th house. So we'll leave that there. That's I don't even care about that, honestly, after I saw this come out, you know, 5th house, 4th house, and now we have 10th house. So we'll put the 5th house there, and we'll put the 4th house here. I just like this sun and moon. I feel like this is really significant for you guys to see that like that, the sun and moon. So the 4th and the 5th house really highlighted for Gemini during this eclipse season. This is your house, your home, your family, your home environment, your kids, your extended family, the roots of your being, your connection to your ancestors. Like, that's all encompassed here. Also, you know, unconditional love, nurturing, all of that. Over here with this 5th house energy, this is our passion, our creativity, our romance, you know. So these houses do go hand in hand, especially when children are involved. And this is the primary focus for Gemini. Okay, it's these two houses. And since we're having, you know, an eclipse in Leo and an eclipse in Cancer, the fact that those energies have come out, very significant for Gemini. But also, I can't ignore this 10th house energy here. So, Gemini, this eclipse, there's going to be a lot of changes in your home, family, dating life, as well as your career sector. So, let's pull some tarot to get more information about this energy for Gemini. Shuffle really good. Whew. And also eclipses are, they bring truth to light, okay, but they also have us visit our shadow self. So in regards to love and romance, and your passion and your creativity and your artistic talents, there's big truths coming out, okay? Here with this fourth house energy with the family, there's truths coming out, but also truths coming out to ourselves, about ourselves, our place in the family, our role in the family. We might be having kids move out of the house. We could be adding to the family. There could be big time changes in your living situation. Wow. So we have the Hierophant that flew out as I'm talking about this. Yeah, big time changes. Some of you, it could have to do with like religious beliefs or religious differences. So let's see here. All right, so here in the fifth house, we have the Knight of Cups in this position. And then we have the Knight of Wands in this position. So this is both inner self, Gemini. This could be Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Sag. If somebody's been two-timing you or you've been two-timing anybody, like that's going to come out. Anybody who's kind of just been flaky and not really in it, you know, it's just like, I'm here to conquer, you know, it's very sexual energy. I'm on the prowl. I just want the adventure. Like that's what's the two of these cards really indicate. And this is fifth house energy, so this is like your dating realm. So if you're dating different people, or you could be thinking about two very specific people from your past that you dated, you could be in a significant committed relationship with somebody, and there's somebody else that you're interested in. So Gemini, my goodness, there is a lot going on in this fifth house energy with the eclipse. It's like truths coming to light, okay, and some of them very shocking with the lightning there. Some of it's like, I still hold a torch for you, Gemini. So we'll keep moving on. We'll come back to this. Over here, we have this Page of Wands, and then we have this Six of Swords. So I know with this, some of you definitely do have some kids leaving the nest. Okay, but others of you, this is like you're moving, and some of you could actually be moving to a different state or even a different country. I've seen this actually in several readings, and it kind of shocks me, but we have two horses here, movement, Six of Swords, moving on. The Phoenix rising out of the ashes. This is transformation, big changes. I want to live a life with much more depth, much more meaning, much more sense of purpose. I want to understand the mysteries of the universe. I want more adventure in my life. I want more excitement. Some of you, this could be where if you've been tied down in a committed relationship for quite some time, like through eclipse season, you know, you might be deciding that you don't want to be tied down anymore, that you want the adventure of dating, you want to be on the hunt, you want the passion, you want the sensuality. Others of you, this is all about, you know, finally acting on your creative talent or artistic ability and being willing to take the plunge to put yourself out there, because we have the 10th house energy, which is all about our career and status in the outside world, right? And so some of you are choosing to take a creative talent or artistic ability and make it your career. And maybe in doing that, this is now we're working from home, or we're moving, we're downgrading to make this possible, or we're moving locations to make this possible. So we have the Six of Wands coming out with this attached to the Tower. Wow. Gemini, holy cow. You guys have a lot of different stuff taking place. This is all about home and family. No question in my mind, Some of you are relocating for a job, like you really are. You're gonna move to another state or another country or somewhere just quite far away. And some of you, maybe it's you're deciding to completely break off and break free from all your family ties. Maybe nobody just really appreciates you. You have a really crappy family. I mean, it could be any number of things, but what I'm getting here is some of you are breaking away, like you want just a brand new change of scenery, like you in your home environment, in your workplace. Some of you are deciding to completely change career genre, leave your current company because you're like, you know what, I do so much and I sacrifice so much, but I am not appreciated. There's people that step on my toes, you know, I'm not appreciated for all I bring to the table. And, you know, maybe some of you were expecting like some sort of compensation or bonus for all the extra hard work and energy you've been putting into things. And maybe, you know, it just doesn't come to fruition. And because of that, you make a really, you know, like quick snap decision choice to move on to something else, like a new opportunity showing up. So let's pull some more cards, Gemini, so I can get more information about this. And I just want to point this out. We have 6, and then this is card 16. The rest are court cards. So you have 3 court cards, 2 fire, 1 water, and then you have 2 6s and a 16. I think eclipse season is going to herald many changes for Gemini, especially in your dating sector, romance sector, as well as your home and family and career sector. Man, across the board, big time changes for Gemini. Yeah, look at this. The gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. So I feel like there's been, you know, some obstacles, some struggles, some delay for Gemini in these areas. And that's where the eclipse energy is coming in and making big time changes for you guys. So let's see what comes out. Oh, yes, and that was the card I was looking for with that barrier. This says seek wisdom and guidance from elders. So Gemini, with this right here, any sort of confusion along your journey through eclipse season, you know, seek the advice of somebody who would know, okay? So with this here, we have the stars. A long journey brings reward. So you have the sun, the moon, and now the stars in your reading, in your eclipse season reading, Gemini. My God. As I mentioned, Chiron is the great healer. So I feel like there's 2 things happening for Gemini. There are relationships, romantic, and as well as friends and family, that are eclipsing out of your life. Like they've got to go. They don't serve your best interest. However, with this, there are other people returning back into Gemini's life because Chiron brings people back together. The healer, the mender. Okay, so there's people that are eclipsing out because Gemini sees the truth, and there's you know, other people returning back into Gemini's life that have been away for quite some time. And also with this card, again, some of you are relocating your home, your job, like you're moving to a different country, different state, just are really far away. Or it's like you're going to be traveling now, where you're here in one area half the time, and then the other half of the time you're in this other place, you know, something like that. And then here with this moving on, we have the wolf. Be aware of who you trust. So with this, it really plays into, you know, the sun energy, where different situations within the family structure are coming out and coming to light. I do believe I saw that in Gemini's weekly reading last week, or for this week I should say, but by the time most of you watch this, it will be last week's reading. But with this, you know, there's some black sheep in the family, and I feel like that's why for some of you, that's why we're relocating, like we're just getting away from the wolves, you know. Perhaps you're the only lamb in a pack of wolves and you're like, I've got to just disconnect from my family. Some of you, this is like, you know, your child, or you are the child and you are leaving your parents' nest, or your child is leaving your nest and you are very worried about, you know, them going out and off into the world. Some of them may be going to college because eclipse season ends, you know, about 30 days before fall begins. So with this Aquarius full moon total lunar, this is some big change within your family structure, your household, your living situation or environment, okay? And again, this is more like stuff coming to light where the dishonest needs to leave. They're being eclipsed out of your life. So much truth is coming out, Gemini, through this eclipse season, but not just truth. You will also be exposed to your shadow self, and truths that you keep from yourself will be really brought to your attention. And here's the all-seeing eye. So 10th house, look at this. Jealousy leads to downfall. So in the workplace, any of you that have been like in the struggle, what I see here is if things have been unfair, you've been falsely accused of something, you have some really hard and heavy co-workers to deal with. With this, jealousy leads to downfall. This may very well mean like they're finally being exposed for what they are, and you never in a million years thought that that would happen, or there's stuff that comes out about them where you're like, oh my God, I would have never thought that person was doing that. Okay, now if this is falling on your shoulders where you're not being appreciated and things like that, don't allow yourself to flip out and have a meltdown. Handle things very gracefully, Gemini. Okay, if you need to point some unfairness out, or you need to leave a company, and you know, some of you with this, if like the situation has been really tense, things just might finally come to a head. And if that happens, you know, and whatever happens is quite shocking to everybody, just know that that's exactly how it was meant to play out. And don't fret, don't trip, just go with it, Gemini. So let's pull a card here to see what your overall outcome is for eclipse season. I just see big time changes in family, in romance, and career. Wow, look at this. We have rising above, clarity, freedom, and solution. Yep, many things are coming to light. You're going to know the truth. There's transformation taking place inside of you where you're willing to detach yourself and break free from certain toxic relationships, whether they're family or not. Whether, you know, the romance here, you are wanting something deeper. You are wanting something more. All right, so this is your overall outcome, rising above, and so I feel like Gemini is going to feel really good. On the other side of eclipse season, some truths might be a little bit painful, but ultimately it's for your greatest good, and it's going to give you the energy, motivation, and intention to cut certain people out of your life, and also, you know, reconnect and allow certain other people in. You have the sun, the moon, and the stars for you guys for your eclipse season reading. That's pretty fantastic. Just flow with it, Gemini. Any changes that might seem not pleasant or the way you want it, just go with it, because it's truly working out in your favor, and you will see that, you know, by the end of eclipse season, or at least within a couple weeks after eclipse season. Very positive changes. Those of you who are considering moving to another state or another country for a romance or for a job or to start creating some sort of dream, it looks really awesome. Like I say, go for it. Rising above, that's like seeing somebody get on an airplane and fly away, right? And that somebody's you, Gemini, because look, this is card 11, which always makes me think of the Gemini symbol. We just don't have the bar on the top and the bottom. Just saying. So anyways, Gemini, those are your messages for this eclipse season. I am wishing you all the very best. Take care.